I wouldn't say I really caught the climbing bug until I went outside for the first time. And I like rappelled off of something that was like 80 feet tall and then like climbed up it and was like, wow, that was like the most fun like 10 minutes of my life like I've ever experienced. And so like from that point forwards, I just wanted to do it like literally all the time. I think that you're awesome and you think I'm awesome too. We both just fell in love, there was nothing we could do. Just something about being outside, there's not really like a substitute for it. You know, I mean, it's like the same reason like a picture, you know, never does the actual place justice anywhere. And like a really nice thing about rock climbing is that you go to these places that are really beautiful and you have an excuse to hang out there. For a while, life had been kind of like going downhill for me. Like I, you know, was living with, you know, the love of my life, and then, you know, I wasn't living with the love of my life anymore. I was very heartbroken, and life became very hard, you know, living out of my car. And you know, eventually though, you know, things started to change. Like you ended up getting fired from REI, but I just like put in an application to like every single job, you know, the Yosemite Park Service had listed on their website. And, you know, I finally got a call back and we're like, yeah, you got the job. I went from living in this like, you know, beautiful city that's very crowded, very expensive to, you know, now I'm going to be spending, you know, my entire summer in this beautiful place. It's just like a place full of all this energy and full of all these, you know, like-minded people who are just kind of about like seeing and experiencing and observing this beautiful, beautiful thing. There's not very many places in the world that's like that. Within the climbing community, there's almost like a respect for people who like dirtbag and live out of their cars and go climb everywhere. And I think for a lot of people, like they kind of do what society expects of them, you know, which, you know, for like our generation, it's like, well, like you try hard in school and then like you go to college and you graduate college, then you get a job and then like you collect, you know, you start collecting stuff. And like before you know it, like you're just like, you're kind of back in the same thing, and you really, like, what have you really learned about yourself? Like, what have you really learned about your happiness? A lot of times in rock climbing, you deal a lot with failure. Like, you fail a lot. Like, there's not really any climbers who, like, don't ever fall. And falling is just, like, a part of it. So you kind of have to, like, learn how to cope and handle and deal with failure on, like, a regular basis. It's a pretty humbling sport. It's a beautiful thing. 'Cause I think that you're awesome. And you think I'm awesome too. We both just fell in love, there was nothing we could do.